So now that essentially we've like talked about where you see it in the future and actually sort of what does it mean to think about the future and why is it a positive or a negative thing in whatever sense. I think an interesting point, I think it's an important one, is like sort of challenges within a relationship and the reality of it. I mean, you see it. You can see it with many people, like no matter all ages. But there is obviously challenges within relationships. And if you're comfortable, like, what was the biggest challenge you guys like sort of have felt so far?
I think when you get into quite a long routine of being in the school term, you've got all your work piling up on you. There's nothing to look forward to a lot. Um, Relationships can be boring sometimes, and that's part of it. And that's what
Whoa.
no, not you're boring. Don't worry. But people often give up at that point because they don't see kind of anything in sight. They don't see a future. They don't see something good to look forward to. But it can be a challenge sometimes because you just kind of feel down about everything. You kind of neglect your relationship because you don't see a good thing to look forward to. And that's probably one of our biggest challenges we face, I'd say.
Mm.
Good response, mate. Love that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I mean, I feel like I don't know if I'd say not seeing anything to look forward to is more like just being caught up in the whole school and everything. And then, like, it seems like sometimes we go through, there's some periods of time where, like, we have so much stuff to do, like, every single day that we don't even get to talk that much. And then it comes down to, and then it's just those periods of time where, like, it's just like, ah, we have so much stuff to do. We wish we could spend more time with each other, but like we generally just can't.
Yeah. So I mean, on the theme of challenges, I guess. Was there any like practical challenges? Will Ruby telling your parents or anything, or was it pretty much open?
Yeah, I mean, in my family, I'm pretty open. Um, I have three older brothers, so they're kind of protective in that sense, but they loved Will straight away. Um, I think it's really important if your family likes your partner or not. That would be a really kind of defining thing for me. But thankfully they love him, so yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, for me it was pretty chill. I mean, my dad knew from like early days, the beginning. My dad knew from before when the first time I went to meet her. So that was pretty chill. My dad didn't really care. Like, as in, he was supportive, obviously, but he was. And then my mom found out after, and like, it wasn't. I didn't think it wasn't. There was never like a. Some people can't, like, some relationships where the parents don't like their child's in a relationship. It was never like that, really. So I feel like that was something good for us that we never had to go through. That some couples might have to go through.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And I think the final question actually that we really want to touch upon is sort of you at this young age, right? You and I'm not devaluing anything that, like, for example, I have or that you two have or Anu and his parents have, anything. Do you actually value each other's opinions more than your like best friend or your parents?
I think it depends on the situation. I think if it was anything about a personal decision I was making, um, I'd trust Will equally as much as my friends and family because they both know me so well. Um, I think I trust Will to kind of look after me more in a sense because he knows me so well that he knows like what would upset me or affect me. So I know he's got my back in that sense more than your friends might. Depends. Your friends are great though. Um, I I do value his opinion highly. Um, but also I value like my mum's opinion really highly because she knows me so well. I just think it depends on the situation. But if you're not sure, seek a range of opinions, is what I'd say.
Mm. I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously, I value her. I mean, I'll be honest. Her opinion's normally sometimes right. Don't want to say always, but it's normally right. Let's be real. Compared to, cause I feel like I'm more. I'm very. I do stuff on a whim rather than having
Spontaneous.
the right
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really think about stuff as much as I should sometimes. Like, I have an idea in my head and I'm like, okay, calm. I'm doing that now. But she's like, would talk to me and be like, you have to deepen, you have to actually think about everything, and you can't just. So I feel like I do value her opinion a lot, but because I know that I'm not necessarily the one to make always the most informed decisions. With that being said, Low Street is coming soon, guys, and be ready for that. But
When's the Spectre coming out?
no,
That is so sweet.
Spectre's gone.
Oh,
Spectre's that's gone. Low Street is the new name. We've got graphic tees coming. We've got so much stuff in the works. But
when's the release date?
at the moment, I like to focus on end of years,
Okay.
pan these end of years, and inshallah, hopefully I pan these end of years. And if I pan these end of years, then me and Anne, my business partner, we're gonna build something that's gonna be absolutely beautiful. I'm telling you, this product, you lot.
This podcast can sponsor your product.
Please, honestly, I'm telling you, the drip that we're gonna provide is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous there, but
Well, I can sense a new business relationship forming with the podcast and with your business. So
yeah,
I'm
of course. Just
it.
make sure we're gonna start. So my vision is we do video podcasts, and you wear Low Street
Sure.
every time.
Sure.
Oh,
We'll take that into consideration and come back to you with that. But that looks good.
Means a lot.
Yeah, man, of course.
hey.
Yeah, I think the last question for everyone before we move on to answering the inbox, which is a whole other segment, is what is one piece of advice you would offer to anyone either? I mean, yeah, it's regarding the topic of embarking on a relationship. So for me, what advice would you offer me?
I think be open to someone else's perspectives on things, don't be so insular, always look outwards, think how they feel, consider their opinions, take that into account when you react. Or just communication. I think I've just stolen Will's one, but communication is really important.
Communication, that's my thing. I feel like communication is the most important thing, if anything, in a relationship. I feel like if you can't have a relationship where someone's annoyed or upset about something, and if they need their space, fine, but after a certain amount of time, you have to be able to communicate how you're feeling and communicate what is that made you feel that way, so that the other person can make a change and can improve. And if you're not giving the other person that opportunity, then I feel like it's not necessarily, working in a way. But I feel like communication's key. If you can communicate, no matter what issue you've got, if you can talk about it and get to the decision of what happened, what got you to that stage, how you can improve, then I feel like it can never really go wrong, because as long as you're willing to change or willing to make do better, then I feel like
openness.
That openness and be able to talk about how something made you feel is the main thing in a relationship.
Good.
Perfect.
Yeah, so thank you very much to the both of you for talking about this so openly. We really do appreciate it. It takes a lot to be able to gain an insight.